tonight. Some Saskatchewan businesses find themselves on an American gift site they didn't agree to join. Living in Saskatchewan's north presents its own challenge when it comes to Christmas gifts. And MBC Radio celebrates 40 years of broadcasting.
This is CBC Saskatchewan News.
It is Wednesday, December 24th, and the CBC Saskatchewan News starts right now. I'm Ethan Williams. Thank you for joining us. This was the final day of a busy shopping season for many, but some Saskatchewan businesses have discovered their names were featured on an American gift-giving site without their permission. Katie Swires has our top story.
Extreme concern, fear, and then disappointment that somebody would use our good name to profit off of.
Sylvia Kreitzer says it was a gut punch discovering her winery was listed on U.S. gift-giving site Giftly without her even knowing about it. Giftly allows people to send money directly to others with a suggestion of where to spend it. No merchants are involved in the transaction despite businesses' names appearing on the site. Kreitzer is concerned her customers could potentially be misled.
Where they would come to us with a card that was in our company name, that wasn't something that was distributed by us, that we have no format for recourse on.
Giftly tells CBC it does not actually sell gift cards, but that wording is all over its website. Its CEO says Giftly is a person-to-person gifting platform.
A beautiful gift card alternative is something that we also say.
Giftly's listing for Over the Hill was taken down by request. The company says it will remove any business that asks.
But that's like opt out instead of opt in, and that's not how we generally like to do things.
This online expert says there are still some misleading elements on the platform.
I think that a consumer that goes to Giftly seems to be marketed a gift card, and they think they're buying a gift card because all over the website it says gift card. So to me, that's the thing that's deceptive here.
Giftly says it does not operate in Canada or target Canadian consumers, and no Canadian businesses are put on its website intentionally. Instead, those listings are a byproduct of how Giftly populates its website using third-party business indexes like Yelp. Giftly did face a 2023 class action lawsuit from small businesses in the U.S. that were listed without consent. One retail strategist says even if no money is lost, an unwanted interaction from a third party still costs independent businesses.
Having something like that happen is just very scary and stressful. You don't know what it's about. You now have to take time out of your day to investigate.
Time during a busy season when he says independent business owners are fighting for every sale. Katie Swires, CBC News, Regina.
Holiday shopping, meanwhile, is not so simple in northern Saskatchewan. There is limited access to stores and supplies, so that means people there begin the hunt for gifts, sometimes months in advance. Aisha Ashraf has that story.
Uranium City sits near Saskatchewan's northern border, home to roughly 80 people. There are no big stores, no malls, and limited access in and out, making holiday shopping quite difficult. Most supplies arrive by plane, and flights come in just 3 days a week. That makes timing everything.
I started shopping in August, so everything's flowing up. So I do a lot of online shopping, a lot of people shipping to me. Yeah, it is hard. But it's better than going to the mall or like going to Walmart with all the chaos.
But not everyone avoids the trip south. Some residents, like Skylar McDonald, plan a getaway around it, turning holiday shopping into a full trip.
We travel to Saskatoon for at least a week and then come back.
For community leaders, it means hoping freight can be delivered by air on time. But even with the distance, they wouldn't trade it for the world.
Home is where the heart is. You can go anywhere you want, but once you get home, you know you're home, and it's a feeling that you don't get anywhere else.
Holiday shopping in the north takes work, planning, and patience. But residents say what they lack in access, they make up for in community.
Merry Christmas!
Aisha Ashraf, CBC News, Uranium City.
A Regina family who recently experienced tragedy won't let that stop them from lighting up their home for the holidays. Trevor Allen's annual elaborate Christmas display is a holiday mainstay in the city, but he died suddenly earlier this month. His daughter Chloe helped create the display featuring 70,000 LEDs. She says her dad was known as Regina's Christmas lights guy, but was also a curling coach, handyman, and loved his city. The family plans to continue the tradition.
I started sequencing my own shows this year, and I got a lot of help from him on doing that, and just seeing everybody's smiles and the joy they had when they would watch the show made me want to continue it.
And you can see the light display at 5140 Generoo Drive until January 4th. The daily show starts at 5:30 p.m. and runs until 10:30. Well, the holidays are a time to be together with friends and family, but for newcomers to Canada, it can be a lonely time of year. Some, though, have continued their own holiday traditions in their new home, and others have even started celebrating new ones. We stopped by an event put on by Regina Immigrant Women's Centre to see how people are celebrating.
Back home, we used to celebrate Diwali, Pongal, like lots of our traditional kind of events. But here we especially celebrate the Christmas a lot, Christmas and New Year. My daughter's favorite thing, especially to see the Santa.
Back home, when I was young, very, very young, it's during Christmas time that you hear, oh, we want to do something special. We want to cook rice, we want to slaughter fowls, we have to enjoy things special. But growing up, things have changed. Now we are eating the rice every day, so it's not so much different.
We are interacting with the people from different countries. Someone is from Nigeria, someone is from Bangladesh and India, someone is from Philippines and Vietnam. It is very interesting, and that each and every person is extending a helping hand to the other person. Yeah, there is no discrimination, there is no superiority, there is no biasness. All are living again, especially on the event of the Christmas. They all celebrate the event just like a single family. Yeah.
What I observe back home is during Christmas time, you find a lot of people on the streets. You see people jubilating, playing drums, dancing, several activities. We don't see that in Canada. But coming together under the umbrella of RIWC, we have seen everybody coming together to celebrate, which is a good thing.
Well, if you are in Saskatoon this holiday season and maybe need a place to park, there are a couple of days you won't have to pay for it. You will not need to worry about parking enforcement making the rounds on Christmas Day or New Year's Day. That also includes public parking throughout the downtown, on Broadway, and across from both St. Paul's and City Hospitals. You will, however, have to pay on Boxing Day and New Year's Eve, at least until 6 in the evening. Saskatoon Mayor Cynthia Block made combating homelessness a big part of her election campaign in 2024. It's something she and City Council have spent a fair bit of time on in 2025, and that will likely continue into 2026. Phil Tank recently sat down with Block for a year-end interview.
Saskatoon's mayor is expecting the blueprint for the city's future next year. Cynthia Block says more details are coming on plans for this land inside the city. It's being used by the University of Saskatchewan for agriculture research, but is supposed to become new neighborhoods.
I'm excited about that. I first learned about this a decade ago, and I'm so excited that finally that's going to start to move forward. And those, again, those are infills.
City Hall continues to deal with a housing shortage and a homelessness crisis. Block heard concerns about this from Riversdale businesses at this month's council meeting. One business leader expressed her frustration with homeless initiatives in the area.
I understand that there are some concerns around social behaviors, and I think that how we move forward together is going to have to be in some sort of a partnership with a strategy with businesses.
But Block says the way society is dealing with homelessness is failing. She urges people to consider the high costs of relying on police and firefighters to deal with people who are unhoused.
If we can at least understand that what we've been doing so far is by far the most expensive and we're not succeeding, and maybe we need to actually look more carefully about how we are moving forward. And I'll continue to say that unless or until people are safely housed, it's going to be hard.
Block also admits people are struggling with rising costs, and she knows next year's 6.7% property tax increase adds to the burden. But she says keeping increases low costs more down the road.
You can save a whole lot of money just not doing the core business of government that folks don't really see until it starts to impact. And then it gets worse, and it gets worse, and it gets only more expensive.
Block says every dollar City Hall spends helps pay for a service for residents. Phil Tank, CBC News, Saskatoon.
Well, traffic, of course, not exactly bustling on Albert Street as we approach the holidays in Regina. You may need to keep an eye on the weather, though, if you're hitting the roads over the next few days. Mickey Wolf brings us our Christmas forecast after the break. And weather specialist Mickey Wolf joins us now. Mickey, the tree is up, the presents are wrapped, hopefully. People starting to settle in for Christmas, and here's hoping that Santa Claus has a smooth arrival in Saskatchewan weather-wise.
Well, you know, Ethan, Santa is a seasoned pro by now. I'm sure he's handled all kinds of weather along with his reindeer, and he might have a little bit of weather to contend with tonight, especially if he's flying over Lloydminster. Let's take a look at some of our watches and warnings right now. So we have that active snowfall warning for Lloydminster tonight. We're expecting 10 to 15 centimeters total snowfall throughout the day today, so that should be tapering off by tonight. And then as Santa's flying over the north, he's going to experience some very cold temperatures as well in the far north. We're seeing wind chill values down to minus 45 for folks up there near Stony Rapids and Uranium City, but that will warm up finally by tomorrow. And as well, we've got freezing rain in the southwest near Maple Creek, just a risk of freezing rain tomorrow morning, and that is going to extend into Christmas. Right now, we're seeing a little bit of snow for Santa, especially over the central region right there. And our daytime highs today, things are warming up quite nicely for this time of year. So we're seeing high of -4 for Cornack. So a little bit of a warmer day there in the far south of the province. But let's take a look at the next few days. So we've got a high pressure system making its way out of the province, and on the tail of it, we do have that snow we were just seeing flying across the skies tonight. Should be making its way out by tomorrow, kind of that supper hour, just in time for Christmas dinners for folks doing that tomorrow. And then over the next few days, we're going to see a little bit more of a mixed system coming in with that low pressure system forming in Alberta. So that will bring us a little bit more snow by the time we get to Saturday. And how much snow? Well, let's take a look. By the time we get to tomorrow evening, we'll see up to 10 centimeters for Meadow Lake. Regina might see up to 4 centimeters. So the south overall is looking pretty dry in terms of snowfall for the next few days, but then we will see a little bit heavier snow as we get into Saturday. And likewise for the north, we're going to just have a little bit of gradual snowfall. Churchill region might see up to 11 centimeters by tomorrow night, and then a little bit more for Saturday. But let's take a look at our forecast for Regina over the next 7 days. We're seeing a little bit of mixed precipitation tomorrow, so that might fall as snow or freezing rain. We also have a windier day for Regina for Christmas, but hopefully we'll have some breaks in the skies and a bit of a warm up Monday and Tuesday. As for Saskatoon, we're going to have a little bit of a colder day tomorrow. We'll see that temperatures kind of hovering around the pretty cold near -20, and then things will warm up as we get into Monday. So a bit of a chillier evening for Santa, Ethan, but hopefully he's battle ready. He's ready to hand out those presents and wish people a Merry Christmas tomorrow.
Yeah, so turkey, potatoes, stuffing, and maybe a side of snow and possibly freezing rain.
A side of snow and some freezing rain. Sounds about right, Ethan.
The full meal deal. Okay, Mickey, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, more people in Saskatchewan are receiving dental care compared to 1 year ago. Dentists in the province say they've had an increase in patients due in part to the Canadian Dental Care Plan. Lisa Rism explains.
All right. The Saskatoon dentist got some new patients this year and saw others he hadn't seen in a long time. Raju Bhargava says people are using the Canadian Dental Care Plan to cover the costs of cleanings, fillings, and even dentures.
You do run into those patients that, for whatever reason, they haven't been able to seek oral health care. But now that they do have dental benefits through this program, now it probably prompts them or instigates them now to get to an oral health care provider and figure out what's going on in their mouth.
The Saskatchewan College of Dental Surgeons says dentists are reporting an increase in patients since the plan began phasing in last year. Nationally, Health Canada says close to 96,000 Saskatchewan residents are enrolled in the plan. Anyone with a family net income of less than $90,000 is eligible. Ottawa estimates the plan saves participants about $800 a year. But there are some drawbacks. Dentists say the plan has added over an hour of administrative paperwork per day. And fewer people are seeking out dental care services at the university's teaching clinics. Last year, it saw nearly 20,000 people. The dean of the Dentistry College says this year it's seen a 36% drop, making it more difficult for dentistry students to gain hands-on experience.
It's not in the level of to be critical yet, but now that this program continues to expand for more Canadians, we are seeing that this could be critical in a year from now.
The college is working with Health Canada and other dental schools on a solution to the shortage of patients.
See what you think.
Big picture, Bargava says more access to dental care can help prevent serious problems, including strokes, dementia, and pneumonia. Lisa Rism, CBC News, Prince Albert.
Missinippi Broadcasting Corporation has been on the air for 40 years now. The radio network has been connecting communities across Saskatchewan through Indigenous languages and cultural programming, and it's come a long way from its humble beginnings.
And next year we're probably...
Deborah Charles affectionately calls MBC Radio her second baby. The CEO of the Saskatchewan Indigenous Radio Network says it's hard to believe 40 years have gone by since its first broadcast.
How we grew from local to regional to national radio, branching off to being a founding member with the Aboriginal People's Television Network. That was the dream of the founding members, that we would have all those in place to talk about our issues, say it in our languages, in our culture, in our own dialect, in our own way.
In 1983, the federal government gave money to northern Indigenous communities to produce radio and TV programs in Indigenous languages. That money was used to create MBC, connecting already existing radio stations up north with more extensive cultural programming.
Hello there, Tom.
Hello.
Nice to finally meet you.
Tom Roberts was the first voice heard on MBC in 1985. He got his start in radio working for MBC's predecessor, Northern News. Budget cuts closed it in the early 80s. That's when he helped start MBC.
We started out with just 3 people, and just look at it grow. I am impressed that it's gone this far and doing well, and I hope it keeps on going.
My favorite part was taking requests.
Lac La Ronge Indian Band Chief Tammy Cook-Searson says 40 years later, MBC remains vital to her community.
MBC is my first go-to for information, to get radio ads out there, whether it's meetings, gatherings, or just like information about like state of emergencies. Just getting that information out there, whether it's in Cree or English. This is where I come to.
That's the building now.
Deborah Charles has worked here for over 35 years now and has documented MBC's history in this book.
You know, we really come together as a network, as a community, as a family. You know, I could be stuck in Black Lake, Wollaston, Beauval. I'd have somebody there to go to. I wouldn't be stuck. So the North becomes your family, and it is a family.
And she hopes that family will be together for many more years to come. The Saskatchewan Roughriders announcing star receiver Samuel Emelis will be back with the team next season. The Montreal product was named the most valuable Canadian in the 112th Grey Cup in November. He played 7 games this past season and became the fastest Canadian receiver in Rider history to record a 1,000-yard season. Emelis has signed a 2-year contract extension with the Green and White. Emelis will be back with the Riders, and we'll be back with more news after the break. Mickey Wolf is back now, and I'm hoping this forecast is one for the nice list instead of the naughty list, Mickey.
I'd say, Ethan, overall, all things considered, this is a nice list forecast tonight for Saskatchewan. Let's take a look at our overnight temperatures we're seeing across the province. We've got a little bit of a warmer evening compared to what we've seen over the past few weeks for the south and central region. We're seeing a little bit of flurries scattered throughout, but overall things are looking pretty nice, all things considered. And you know, nice is a relative term. We've had that cold warning for the far north, but it's soon to dissipate for folks up there. So a little bit of a chillier night there, but things will warm up by the time we get into tomorrow. We'll again seeing some snow throughout the day, and then by the supper hour things are clearing up for folks in the north, and much of the same for the south and central regions. Again, we are seeing a nice little warm up for Christmas morning and into the afternoon for the supper hour, so hopefully clear skies for your drives out to your dinners, Ethan. We'll have a nice little bit of clear skies hopefully by 5 p.m.
Indeed. Okay, Mickey, thanks so much and happy holidays.
Thank you, Ethan. Happy holidays.
And that is our news for this Christmas Eve. We are taking some time off over the holidays and will return with all your news on January 5th. In the meantime, you can always visit our website, cbc.ca/sask, or subscribe to the CBC Saskatchewan YouTube channel for all of the latest news. We will leave you now with some of the Christmas lights that are brightening the streets of Regina this holiday season all over town. From all of us here at CBC Saskatchewan, from in front of and behind the camera, thank you so much for watching. We want to wish you a happy and safe holiday season.